This conference will now be recorded.
Last class, we have done this asset accounting started, and in that we have done these steps like chart of depreciation, which you had already done. That I showed you how to do that again. And asset classes map, which using this account determination, screen level tool, and number ranges for assets. Using all these things, we have created asset classes. So once that asset classes is created, and we wanted to go to the next step. These are the steps. Today, I will continue from here. One is assign GL account for asset purchases. Yes. One thing I said about, you're going to understand one new thing here. It's an account determination concept in this. So from this asset accounting, you're going to understand this account determination concept. What is this account determination concept? So system, SAP system automatically post or finds GL accounts, GLs and accounts for posting. Specifically, I can say GL accounts for posting. You're going to understand these things. This is just a beginning, okay? Because SAP's main base is this automatic posting. So now, so what we are going to do? Now I'm going to tell, like we have assigned the reconciliation account, right? If you remember, for vendors and customers, when we are creating a company like sorry vendors and customers, we assigned reconciliation GL. If you remember, so here anything we are creating in BP, we connected that. So while creating master data, that means while creating business partner or something, we used to assign the reconciliation theory. What was the concept of reconciliation? We know already. So it was accumulating the values of individual assets and it was showing total. That's the same concept which I already said. It works for assets also. But in assets, we don't assign the GL accounts at the time of asset creation, asset master. So it is not considered as an asset config like asset GL assignment at the time of asset creation. We are going to configure it. So that reconciliation account, we are going to configure it. Configure it means it sits in it's a configuration we do, not as an in asset master we don't like be like vendor create a vendor master we are creating, right? Not like that. We are going to assign do this as a configuration. That's what like assign GL account for asset purchases and also technical clearing account. So what is this under OFA? Under ORFA, go to this integration with general ledger accounting. Here we have an option of assign GL accounts. Enter the chart of depreciation. My chart of depreciation is BI-21. What you should do here? This is chart of account, actually not a company code. Remember, chart of accounts. See why we do this as configuration. Why don't you assign while creating a asset only? Like sorry, just like vendor we create, right? So while creating vendor, we could assign that reconciliation GL like vendor reconciliation creditors, customer GL reconciliation GL debtors, like that also asset reconciliation GL we could assign. But why do you do it as a configuration? The reason is asset is not only going to be purchased, because with vendors and customer we are going to purchase or sell. That's the only one activity we do. But in with assets, we do the purchases, we do sell, we do the depreciation, we scrap it, we send it, we transfer it. Many things will happen. The scenarios are more. That's the reason we do this as a configuration. See here, you should select this chart of depreciation, chart of account, and go to account determination. Find the account determination what you created. I created account determination Y100. Account determination I'm talking about. Okay, here because it's account determination. You notice here. If it is everything same, not a problem. But due to some, it was not there, so we created Y100. It was like Y. This one is Y101. We created screen level. Select this. I'm telling the system, if I do any purchases under this asset class Y100, that is vehicles or buildings, if I do any purchases of individual assets, it should go to balance sheet account is there, right? Click on this balance sheet account. I'm going to tell the system, if I do this activity, APC means balance sheet account. APC means acquisition and production cost. Acquisition and production cost. Cost of acquisition, production. I'm going to tell the system, okay? So if I do the reconciliation GL, the individual assets total should show it in this GL account, whatever the GL which we created. The same concept of reconciliation, we are doing it as a configuration because here, asset buildings. Why I'm doing as a configuration? Because see here, in future, we are going to come back here. If I do the retirement, so loss made on scrapping, gain from loss of sale of asset, loss from sale of asset, like this many activities which we do. So we are going to assign the different GLs so that whenever you do the selling, whenever you do the buying or something like, system automatically pick up the GL account from here. It has a different scenario, so that's the reason we do it as a configuration. Now we are only doing this. If I purchase the asset, it should go to this recon. That means if I create any assets under this asset group, that is building asset group, and if I purchase that, so the total value, just like this, individual assets, if I purchase anything, it has to go to this asset GL, that reconciliation GL. That's what I assigned here. Understand the concept? Okay. Hope it is clear to you. Any doubts? You have to get this clarity in your mind. What I am trying to do.
Sir,
Save this. Yes, Arshita.
sir, can you tell once again?
See, what is the purpose of creditors GL? Why did you assign that creditors GL to vendor?
Selling. If we sell it.
Let Harshita tell. Yes, Harshita. Yes, creditors account. Why did you assign creditors and debtors account to vendors and customers? What was it
Sir,
was
it will
showing?
sum of the vendors.
Some of the individual vendors, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, this also it's a sum of individual assets, but there while creating vendors and while creating customers we assign here before creating vendors and customer we assign this. That means that reconciliation GL we assign it in configuration only, not at the time of master data. What's the plan of doing? First we do the configuration, then master data, then master. So for customers and vendor we assign this reconciliation account while doing master data creation. But here in configuration only, we are assigning this reconciliation. That's it. That's the main difference. Why means we'll get different scenarios here. That you are going to understand different scenarios. Right now, this is the purpose. Reconciliation account we are assigning here so that individual asset when I create any assets under this, it's going to accumulate that values to this GL account automatically. Clear, Ashita?
Yes, sir.
Save this. After doing this, the second step here of relating assign technical clearing account. See, I said technical clearing account we already created. We already created a technical clearing GL. But what's the purpose of that? I'm going to tell it once you do the any transaction. Right now, just we'll do this step as blindly. So just below this assign GL accounts under integration with general ledger account, we have this technical clearing account for integrated asset acquisition. Go here and first one, define technical clearing account for integrated asset acquisition. Just execute this. Go to new entries and enter your company code BA.21 and enter the technical clearing account which you created. I created this 90001. Enter. That's it. It's nothing else here. Just simple. Enter the chart of account and enter the account and save it. So once after doing these two steps, we will move to the next step. The next step is activate depreciation areas for asset class. So what is that activating depreciation areas asset class means? So by default, what happens for any asset class, any asset group what we created, system do not activate the depreciation if buildings are subjected to depreciation. Okay, you have to activate it in this step. You have to activate that. Just go back here, close this integration with general ledger accounting, go to general valuation. Here we have determine depreciation areas in the asset class. Determine depreciation as areas in the asset class. Execute this program. Find the asset class what you created. Y100. Click on this depreciation areas. And here you notice that area deactivated automatically. Just enter, deselect this, that's going to be activated. And screen layout rule, you select 2000. By default, you select 2000, screen layout. It is not rule, it's screen layout. Screen layout is different, and what we have done, screen layout rule is different. Screen layout rule, Y100 we created. Screen layout, what we are doing, it's by default 1000 and 2000. You should select 2000. Whenever you enter in keyboard, system will ask you for the depreciation key. Depreciation key. I'm going to explain what is depreciation key, but right now, just what you should select now, just select LINA. Already many depreciation keys are there. You just select LINA, Lina, and save it. That means we activated depreciation, so that if you create any asset under this group, you have to do it's subjected to depreciation. So once after doing this, last step is activate depreciation area is done. Legacy data transfer date. What does it mean? So just below here, asset data transfer is there. The last. Just come here. Here in the first one, under asset data transfer, parameters for data transfer. Okay. Just execute this first one. You find this. The T code for this, there is a separate T code for this also, FAA_CMP. That also you can do it. For each and everything, we have T codes. Say, for example, for this is A090. Not for this one. For this. Like this. For everything is there. What we do here, see, as soon as you enter, system automatically highlights this, your company code and this ledger on the top. What you should do, click on your company code and click on this edit button. You'll get this white paper here, new creation. Click on this, create legacy data transfer segment. Enter the date. Date means generally it should be at least 1 month older. Why? So the reason is, what is this date? See, when we are implementing SAP to new company, say for example, a company is using already Tally. Just assume that company XYZ is using Tally right now, Tally software, and they want to switch to SAP. They want to implement SAP. That means from Tally, they have to switch to SAP. So what they do, they have to bring whatever the assets already there, right? That has to switch to from Tally to SAP. It has to switch, right? Need to switch to SAP. Am I right? Say for example, there whatever the vehicles, whatever that has to all that all should reflect in SAP. As assets, whatever the things are there are subjected to depreciation. That changes their value by nature. That means based on the market values and all depreciation, appreciation we do. So we have to fix one date here. We have to fix one date. On what date we are going to take that assets into consideration to SAP. On which date we are going to take that assets from Tally to SAP. Are you getting my point? What is legacy data date means? Legacy data transfer date means we are taking a date. So till that time, the depreciation and other things will happen in Tally. After that time, after that date, whatever we enter, it will be in SAP. Are you getting what I'm telling? Arshita, Nagalakshmi, and Deepa?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Is it clear? Lakshmi, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So that means when you are switching anything, you are switching from any software to SAP, for assets, only for assets, we fix one date. Why? Because depreciation. Say for example, today is 20th. I'm going to take depreciate like assets on 30th of June. So in Tally, it's not possible to post in that because Tally is going to be scrapped after 30th. If I'm taking from go live, that means SAP used from June. So that we always use some previous date. At least it should be 1 month or 2 months back. You give 1 month date holder. Say for example, we are in June. You can mention it as okay 05/31/05 is my transfer date. So what does it mean this date? Till this date, the Tally will account the assets. After that, the values, whatever is left on assets in Tally, will be taken from June 1st onwards. It will be taken to SAP. That is the legacy data transfer date. You should enter the date, and here you should select this ongoing other postings allowed, and the document type you should select AA asset posting. These three things you should do. Ready? And after that, click on this 0L. Click on this 0L. Make sure that your highest fiscal year is 2024. See, highest means we are in present 2024. I am following Jan to December. K4. I am following K4 Jan to December. Highest fiscal year is 2020. Obviously, previous fiscal year is 2023. It auto updates automatically. Make sure this is correct and save it. Saved successfully. Done. I hope it is clear. This is the step. What did I do here? You have to update the date and ongoing asset and double click on this 0L and make sure this fiscal year is correct and save it. Now, so we completed all the configuration here. But in one case, at the time of activate depreciation areas, I selected a linear depreciation key. What is depreciation key? What is depreciation? Before asking depreciation key, what is depreciation? Yes. Yes, what is depreciation? Deepa, Lakshmi, Arshita.
Depreciation is decrease the value of the asset.
Sorry?
Decrease the value of the asset
Yes. Why do you want to decrease the value? It's not a correct word.
because if
You have to use reduce the value.
oh,
Okay. So there's some
okay.
terminologies we should use it carefully, specifically in consulting, because we are going to talk to the high top people always. A FICO consultant is always in touch with CFO, CEO, head of the department of accounting, finance, like these people. So when we are talking to them, the terminologies, like no need to be afraid. I'm telling that okay, some terminologies, some communication need to be keep always. We have to correct wherever is not correct. Okay, that's what I'm highlighting here. And don't think that okay, we are going to something. Okay, we are going to do something very great job, something difficult job. No, why means they are the people who are going to give the requirement and discuss okay what they want, how they want SAP should for them. That's the reason I am telling them. Yes. Go ahead. What is depreciation? Yes, please. You might have did it in college. Lakshmi and Deepa, you wanted to tell something. Please go ahead. Arshita also. What is depreciation?
So decrease in the value of the book.
Ah, okay. Decreasing value. Again, you are using the same word. You should use reducing the value. Okay.
Sorry, sir.
Mm.
In depreciation we have a multiple method like straight line method or diminishing balance method like that. But usually we'll use the straight line method in accounting process. Every month will be example 10%. If you buy any car for current month, after 2 years if you want to sell, the value will be the decreases because we already used that asset.
Do you remember we had a very big session on accounting? We had a big session. I had given one example of like what is expenses, what is investment. Do you remember? Advance salary, reducing.
Yes, sir.
What did I tell them that time? So depreciation or something, whatever we that means like whatever the amount which we accumulate more than 1 year, which if you are spending some amount with the value of that particular investment is going to be used more than 1 year, it's going to be treated as an asset. So that assets are going to be reduced the value means based on the market value, based on the usage, based on the things, we are going to recover that values. So depreciation is nothing but we invest something. Say for example, you buy a car, okay? You buy a car for 1 lakh rupees, 1 lakh rupees. So you estimated I'm going to use this car for 5 years. 5 years, you are going to 1 lakh rupees. You are going to treat 20,000 rupees as depreciation. That means this 20,000 rupees, whatever you are doing, you are going to reduce the income, right? Or else you are going to book it as expenses. Am I right? Everybody, Lakshmi, Arshita, in P&L account we book this as expenses, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So these expenses are will you pay to anyone? It's a non-monetary expenses. Non-monetary expenses. That means what? The expenses we book it in P&L account, but we don't pay actually outside. Not like if you book expenses, printing and stationery, you buy it, and you are going to pay to the vendor. Obviously, your cash reduces, and also your value will reduce. That like expenses will go. But this depreciation is not going, it's a non-monetary expense. That means what we are going to book this 20,000, 5 years we are going to book this. So that 5 years we are going to treat this as an expense, like this one, 5 years we do this. After that, the car will will come to the zero value. So after zero value, after car is okay, 5 years after that you cannot use that car means what you do, you have to buy a new car. Where you are going to buy that? You are going to again take the loan from bank, right? There is something is there that you should understand. See, many people know that reducing the value of asset, we directly do that in real time, like in colleges. Okay, just directly hit asset account, we reduce balance sheet matches. Okay, just take what we did, update that and get the marks done. Actually, there is something little bit internally we have to understand how exactly it works. A simple agenda is that, okay, we are going to reduce the value means we are whatever we already invested 1 lakh rupees, every year we are going to recover it. Recover means just I said about the advance salary, remember? Here, I explained it. If you pay an advance for 20 years, Deepa's example I had taken, right? 25 years. So every year I'm going to reduce 1,000 rupees of her salary. Then she don't get salary because directly I'm going to get that. Already paid her. She is going to give the service. Every year I'm going to book that expenses, okay, salary. But actually salary I don't pay her. This is the connectivity you have to get between this balance sheet and P&L account. When you understand this depreciation and this concept with accounting is not at all difficult actually. It's very easy. Only thing is you have to understand if I treat this as an asset, okay, what is the way of like why do you want to treat this as an asset? If I treat this as an asset, yes, logically or thinking, okay, you will get the clarity. But logically, that means accounting wise, you have to get that connectivity. Okay, what is this depreciation? How it works? Many things are there. Okay, so what is my suggestion? It's not much important that how do you do that in SAP. SAP automatically calculate depreciation. You don't need to worry about it. You want straight line method? We have methods. We want WTV method, that is balance, by declining balance method or return on value method. We have method. We have different method. We have method for that. Automatically it will post the transaction. You don't need to worry about it all. But you should understand actually what is depreciation. It's not. It's reducing the value. It's in word, but actually there is something extra. Little bit knowledge we require. I actually I wanted to record that session. I missed it actually. Anyhow, so do some R&D on depreciation. Okay, because you have to get some idea.